Well, Broncos Country, Merry freaking Christmas. The Broncos gave us a giant lump of coal on Christmas Day. That's why I'm wearing coal black Broncos jersey, Broncos shirt. It has been an absolute devastation of a season. We never thought it could get worse than it looked the last year. Well, challenge accepted, because it did. And now we are coachless for the rest of the season. So let's talk about it. This is the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast.
Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast.
Oh, wait, we're live. I guess I should stop drinking away my sorrows. Wow. Hello!
I'll drink to
Broncos Country. Yeah, I'll drink to that. I'll drink to stopping drinking. Welcome to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast. We are a fan-led, for the fans podcast, all about football, but most importantly, the Denver Broncos. We are not professional analysts, but we are proud to be your bona fide fanalists on this roller coaster of a journey, being fans of the greatest franchise in the history of American sports. I'm your host, Johnny Baki. With me, as always, my cousin, childhood best friend, Jay the Dream Weaver, and joining us, especially for tonight, to talk all the wonderful news that's come out this week, Mr. Rob Myrick of Orange Weekly Podcast. What's up, Rob?
What's happening, fellas? Glad to be here. Appreciate the opportunity to come on and talk a little Broncos with you. This is definitely not the ride that I was promised, and I want my friggin' money back.
Amen. Jay, how are you doing, cuz?
Oh, dude. Christmas is usually a joyous time. It really is.
Yes, it is.
And I'd say most layers of life was tremendous. It's just our football team is horrible, and that's what we got for Christmas.
Yeah.
So, thanks a lot. So feeling down, but I'm ready to turn the corner.
Hey, at least we still have the Nuggets and Avalanche, right?
That's right. Glass half full, and we got prime time signing them chips.
So 2 days before Christmas, so Christmas Eve, my wife surprised me with tickets to the Avalanche Predators game here in Nashville. And I got to go and be one of like 50 people wearing Avs gear. because there's a very, very proud Predators fan base in Nashville, and watch the Avs pull out a victory in overtime over Nashville, without Nathan McKinnon and without probably half our playmakers. So it was a beautiful night, and it was a lot of fun. And then Christmas came, and like you said, most facets of life. My first Christmas in 8 years that I didn't have to work. So I got to spend it with my children and my wife, and had a wonderful day until the Broncos game, which I was very excited for. Now I can't remember why. So Rob, did you have a good Christmas?
I did. I had a good Christmas. I got to spend it with my parents and my son. I got to see my lovely girlfriend and her kids for a couple hours. Unfortunately, she's been under the weather, but hopefully she's better very soon.
Pretty sure the whole country's been under the weather this week, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. But with the way that Denver has been, I think we all have been under the weather and just wanting to hide under a blanket. Because of how poorly this team has been playing. Absolutely.
Guys, thank you for joining us again. And please, if you like what you see and you like what you hear, you can't see me right now because this isn't designed for 3 people. That's okay. Like, subscribe, share, comment, ring that notification bell after you subscribe so you know when we go live and you don't miss out on any of our awesome content. We have currently running 3 shows. We're going to work on getting more in the off season. To make up for what we'll be missing, but please make sure you do that subscribe and you hit the notification bell, share it out there. Every one of you, I guarantee, knows at least one other Broncos fan, so get to it. This is your job. You're tasked with it. It's your mission. Should you choose to accept it, this message will self-destruct in 3, 2. I'm joking. Also, make sure you jump in the comment stream live or afterwards. I do check it, guys. If you come in afterwards, I will try to answer anything that you put in there. All right. Jay, would you please, for me, master of merch, share the merch store?
I can do such things. Here we are. Oh, yeah. So here we are. We've got the NRWOB. We've got...
Link is in the bio below.
Yes. We got tons of designs. We got T-shirts.
Hang on, Jay. Bam, there it is.
Oh, all right, there we are. Technical difficulties, last show of the year, I guess, technically. But here we are, boys. Mile high five. I mean, we got all the designs. We got the hoodies. Honestly, like anything warm, because as you alluded to, the weather sucks pretty much everywhere.
Hey, we were in the 50s today here. I was excited.
Oh, man. It's been miserable. I just kind of want to be in hibernation mode. So I don't know. Pillows. I mean, I'm all about that. I don't know. Socks, a lot of socks. We had socks. Dude, we got socks?
We have socks, yeah.
Holy cow.
But I only wear ankle socks, so I'm not that excited about them.
Did you now? Do you work your ankles out or something?
Have you seen my calves? I mean, they're my best. I mean, but besides this keg I've got for a gut,
No, Johnny. You got to carry around all that awesomeness, brother. All of that awesomeness.
For real, like my wife will tell you her favorite physical feature on me is my calves. So
my mind's blown. These are so many facts I'm learning today.
That's why when they get in a fight, Johnny actually wears pants.
That's right. I don't want to make you guys salivate. I mean, for one, it'd be really awkward for me and you, Rob. We're friends, and Jay, you're my cousin, so that'd be even weirder.
And if you're gonna salivate in a Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue bibby. Strap it on right there in 4 exciting colors.
Oh, and Jay, thank you for saying bibby. Guys, get over there and get you some swag. All right, link is in the bio beneath. And since Jay said bibby, and it sounds so close to what it sounds so close. Here comes the segue of the night. Not Bibby, but Dubby. Guys, jump on over to Dubby.gg and hit up the sponsor of tonight's show, Dubby Generalist Energy Blend. Guys, Dubby comes in 5 delicious flavors. They're going to be adding more soon, so definitely get on that train. Every single drink from Dubby, every single drink contains 2 cups of coffee worth of caffeine, but there's always a but. But in this case, it's a good but. It's a nice but. It's a big round but. No calories, no sugar, no maltodextrin, no fillers, and no artificial colors. Guys, you get your energy. You get your energy, but you don't get the jitters. And later, you don't get the crash. Guys, get on in there. You want you some Dubby. It's going to give you the dub. Dubby.gg.
Right here, folks.
Yeah. Oh, and Jay, please tell us, how is that Dubby?
I tell you what, I've come to believe in the fact that a scoop a day keeps the jitters away, and you can sign up for that right in the link, right in the description. So there you go, folks.
Let me ask you, because mine hasn't arrived yet. Does it actually work really well?
Oh, it really does. I had a lot of energy today. Did a lot of house cleaning. The holidays get away from me. Don't do anything. So, random kid spills his chocolate milk, probably going to put newspaper on it and walk away. So this was the day for all cleanings. And Dubby really came in clutch. It really did. It mixes well. I just took a standard sized spoon and just, quick stir. It was good stuff, man. I myself got the Galaxy Grenade, which is like the watermelon lime. It's top-notch stuff.
I've got Beach and Peach coming my way.
That's big stuff right there.
Does it give you the crash, Jay?
Huh?
Does it give you the crash?
No, although, I just kind of transitioned into a different caffeine source. So, who knows? I'll let you know in a couple hours.
That's fair. Guys, we're going to jump on over to our comment stream real quick. Dave, Full Glass, Glassman, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, go Broncos. That's a really great way to start out the show, Dave. I really appreciate that. I appreciate
Full Glass comment right out of the gate.
That's great. Shadow Jacker, D-Rock, that guy, whichever name you want him to go by tonight. Full Glassman, he says, what's up, dude? He said, let's get into it, boys. Time to turn on the AC and vent. I like that. Andy Schrantz in the comments. He says, sup, y'all? Let's see. He also said, I'm done with Wilson. He ain't a team player, and I finally believe the things that came out of Seattle. I want him out in 2024. All right. Well, we'll get into that.
Ding.
No. All right, guys. So let's talk the news of the week. Which one do you want to talk about first? Rob, you're our guest, so you choose. Which news do we talk?
Well, the title of the show is, I guess Nathaniel just couldn't hack it. So let's start with Big Nate Dogg Hackett getting the Hackett.
That's right. They, George Payton, Greg Penner took the axe and hacked Hackett. Like George Washington with a cherry tree. Hackett's gone.
Man, too soon, Johnny. Too soon.
Too soon? I'm sorry.
A couple more 100 years.
A couple.
Damn it, Johnny!
I know. I'm sorry.
But seriously, was this a surprise to anyone?
No.
With 2 games left, I think it was a little bit of a surprise. You figured they would have at least given him till the end of the season. But, with as poorly as the team has been playing, it's not surprising. I think it's just a little surprising that we have 2 games left against our division opponents. We have the Kansas City Chiefs and we have the LA Chargers left, and they decided to let him go the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
It wasn't warranted, but
well, I look at it this way, right? And this is coming from our friend Ben Albright, who is the one who told us following the win in London that they were poised to fire him if we lost that game. But if he won that game, they were going to let him stick around and stick out the rest of the season. And that was still the plan. That was the plan going into Sunday, was to let it happen. But then the abysmal showing on the field and off the field, players in fights and shoving matches and all this stuff. It just showed that he's completely lost control of the locker room, that they don't have faith in him, that he has no control of them. which couldn't have been any more apparent than when Dalton Reisner and Brett Rippon are in a shoving match on their own sideline. And as you so gloriously called him, Rob, Big Nate Dog, just walked over there and stood there.
Didn't say a word.
Not a word. Didn't try to
Look scared.
My high school coach, look, when we play, especially in contact sports, people get heated, okay? Fights happen, even in between teammates. Like, they still love each other at the end of the day. They're still going to go to bat for one another, but you're good. You're hot-headed. Everything is like your adrenaline's fired up to 10 and you're going, man. Fights happen between teammates. But my coach, he would strong arm players apart. Even if it meant he took a punch to the face. Nathaniel Hackett just standing there staring at these two going back and forth was a perfect example of the kind of coach he is, which is spineless. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. He's spineless. And, so in the end, 51-14. And then, of course, all the on-field problems and all the off-field problems. Greg Penner made the choice. And the reason he made the choice, the fans.
Yeah.
100%. The firing of Nathaniel Hackett 2 weeks before the end of the season is Greg Penner doing two things. One, giving the fans their pound of flesh that they are screaming for. Two, it is him saying, hey, we care about our fan base the way that Pat Bowlen used to. Because Broncos fans know under the trust, they didn't give a damn what the fan base thought. They didn't give a damn what the fans were feeling. But Penner is trying to show us that they believe in what Mr. B built here and they're trying to bring it back. What do you guys think of that?
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I knew this would be an emotional show. I feel like we all have really tall soapboxes today, or at least the last couple days, because it kind of feels like the end of the year. So what you alluded to, Rob, we got 2 games left. Those are preseason games. I doubt we really do anything in them. For all I care, the end of the season has already happened. We've already had pretty much end of year press conferences today and yesterday. That's at least what it felt like. Everybody in the press conferences were kind of speaking as if that was it. Like, well, we apologizing for the year and moving on. And that's kind of what it feels like.
Well, that's what they did today that's what they did today during their press conference.
Yeah. Each individual brought a different, I guess, perspective, I feel like. For instance, like you hear Randy Gregory, and he sounded today like a player that is invested in this franchise and wants to be here for the solution and is all in.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really feel that, to be quite honest, out of Russ. I kind of felt like we got robot Russ today. And I just
started on that.
You got to turn it off, because I'm sorry, sir, I can read the depth chart too. You do not need to announce everyone on the roster. What a waste of our times. I'm already over it. And it's only been 1 year of it. And it's super depressing. To yesterday's press conference, Sean Payton looked like somebody clipped his balls, or not Sean Payton.
George Payton?
George Payton looked like somebody clipped his balls.
Too many damn Paytons in the NFL.
It's true.
Well, they did. His name is Penner.
Yep. Penner basically said the next person reports to me, and, Payton's going to just kind of be in the background to advise for a year. It's kind of what I got out of that.
Well, not yes and no, not really, kind of, maybe, sort of.
Just on that press conference alone, because I feel like so many Easter eggs thrown out of what the future.
Although I do kind of feel like that particular thing that you're talking about there has been read into just a little bit too much by fans on Twitter and stuff. Okay, because first of all, NFL wide, when a head coach hunt is on, it is never the general manager's job to do the hiring. It is the owner's. They, of course, consult the general manager, and the general manager puts in his 2 cents, but ultimately the search and the choice and the hiring is on the owners. The problem was George, and then the only job that the general manager holds down is building and maintaining a roster. That's his job, his one and only job. So when of course this last offseason was just bonkers, right? You've got a trust dissolving. We're at that time still figuring out if we, who we're going to sell the team to. George Payton unfortunately had to put on the hat of coach search and hire. And he went with his gut and he stood up today. I was honestly impressed that he stood up today and he admitted, I was wrong.
He did. You're not wrong there.
Because he could have bit the bullet and just been like, I got fleeced too. No.
So a couple things. I want to kind of touch on a few things that both of y'all have already said.
All right.
Johnny with and Jay, both of you, with your statement about when the fight broke out. Yes, Nathaniel Hackett went over there, didn't say a word, didn't show any kind of emotion. I'm going to bring up a past NFL event that doesn't have anything to do with the Denver Broncos, but it's a perfect correlation with this. Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer used to be a quarterback in the NFL, and he got raked across the coals because he was screaming at a high school player, and for good reason. After you kind of look into it, the kid wasn't listening. The kid was throwing attitude. And, when you're in high school, I don't care how good of a high school player you are. Your coach, if he tells you to jump, your only job is to say how high.
Yep.
Heck, you don't even say anything. You just do it.
Correct. I played 4 years of high school football, and I had coaches that were like Nathaniel Hackett, where every kid loved him, went to him, looked up to him like a father. And then I had coaches that would ream you if you missed a block in the middle of the game, at halftime, in front of your parents. It didn't matter. That's a part of the damn game. Sorry, dang game.
No, go ahead. Damn is fine. We just stay.
We're all Hoover.
Stay away from the big three. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. But with that being said, if it were me, if I was Nathaniel Hackett, I would have grabbed Reisner by his shoulder pads, told him to shut the Fangio up.
Thank you.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember the words. Shut the Fangio up and sit down, basically, right? I would have told Rippon, go warm up, shut your mouth, period. End of story. Okay, so with that, let's get that out of the way. Second is going to be, with Penner, I think Penner hit it on the head. He apologized to the fans first and foremost, because we are the financial wheel that makes that franchise turn. And we expected more. We expected the Russell Wilson that kicked our Shermer, in
Hey, Mr. Will!
Yeah, I used that one way wrong. Kicked our tails in the Super Bowl, and we got the freaking I can't even think of his name. We got the RG3 basically version.
Yeah.
I don't know. RG3 was okay. But anyway.
Only because of Shanahan.
Yeah, right. So, we got the Russell Wilson that doesn't know, his hind end from a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
And I agree with George. Russell has to play better. The entire team has to be better. And fortunately, Nathaniel Hackett and don't get me wrong, I was a huge supporter of Hackett in the beginning. From that first press conference,
all of us were. Every one of us were.
Run through a wall.
They played Kahoot.
But
I love that game.
They played Kahoot.
He just didn't man up to what we expected. And I'll be honest, I think the Broncos Country fan base is one of the toughest fan bases because we have such high expectations.
Yeah.
So,
I like I'm gonna bring in a Shadow or D-Rock Shadow Dat guy's comment. Y'all think that he was fired because he was losing the locker room, or perhaps Greg Penner's brother-in-law's team eating our porridge and sleeping in our beds? It's both.
Both.
It was both. I mean, can you imagine having to sit side by side with your brother-in-law during that game? It's literally like,
you just bought the same car they have. Like, you just bought the shiny thing that you coveted.
Yeah.
And you showed up to the party like this.
And you don't know how to drive it. Obviously.
Embarrassing.
Obviously, it's like You bought your brother was driving a Ferrari, and so you bought a Ferrari, but then you forgot you don't know how to drive a stick, and you guys decided to race. You know, it was bad. It was just bad.
Yeah.
Andy's coming in with my least favorite take that Andy always gives. Please trade Justin Simmons. I'm sorry. Justin Simmons is a friend. He's a friend of this show. And I'm still a gigantic fan of Justin Simmons. I disagree with you vehemently, but that's okay. It's okay to disagree and still be friends, right, Andy? All right. Dave asks, is John Elway still involved with decision making? No.
No, he's playing golf. No,
he's a consultant for the secretary from the secretary. Like he, not even like a name in the handbook, is he?
No, and one other thing I just wanted to bring up while I'm kind of on my soapbox here, I feel for Nathaniel Hackett losing his job. I do. I don't think
after Christmas, that's effed up.
I don't think anybody should be cheering that a man lost his job.
I agree.
And Johnny, you know the reason why I feel that way.
I do, so, and I've been there, so I totally get it for real.
But you know, he didn't.
Here's
unintended. He didn't hack it.
I liked what you said there, and I liked the segue you gave us to Russell Wilson, which we'll transition to here in a minute. But yeah, I don't applaud people applauding someone losing their job, but there is an unfortunate side to this particular business. I'm sure that Nathaniel Hackett is a great guy. Everybody says he is. As a person, I'm sure he's a phenomenal guy. And in fact, I would honestly say that he is a brilliant offensive mind. It's just that his particular scheme doesn't fit Russell Wilson's skill sets. And
yeah, but isn't there more to that than just
that? There is more to that. But what I am saying is
on the sideline.
I know. I'm not just saying that. What I'm saying is, offensively, he's actually a very smart guy, and with the right quarterback, his scheme would work very well. It just Russ is not that right quarterback, and so I'm very sad to see someone lose their job. It hurts. It's painful and it sucks. But in this business, you are brought in here and paid millions of dollars, a hell of a lot more than I make, to win, just to win as many out of 17 games as you can in a year.
And that's exactly what Andy said.
That's it. You are there to make millions to win as many out of 17 games as you can in a 6-month period. And that wasn't happening. And so I'm sorry. Bye-bye. It sucks. I get it sucks to have to move your family again and all that, but this team needs better. It deserves better. This fan base deserves better.
Yeah.
As a fan
need to be made.
I may sound selfish saying that. As a fan, we deserve better.
Absolutely. So, a statement needed to be made. Penner needed to draw a line in the sand to just say, this isn't okay, and this isn't the standard I'm ready to, accept. So something has to change. We knew Hackett was going to be gone. I just didn't expect it the day after Christmas. But I also didn't expect Christmas Day to be Christmas Day. If they lost by 10 points.
If they kept the season consistency of losing by a single score.
Yep. Fine. He would still have his job today.
No, absolutely. But, and again, and I've said this on the Orange Weekly, podcast show before, it wasn't solely Russell Wilson. It wasn't solely Nathaniel Hackett. It was a complete failure all around. Yeah. Nathaniel Hackett came over from Green Bay. Green Bay's quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is 99% a pocket passer. Russell Wilson is not a pocket passer by nature.
He's an on-the-move bootleg kind of.
And so, Johnny, to your point, the system that Nathaniel Hackett had was he was trying to make him into Aaron Rodgers. And that wasn't working, especially with as many injuries as we've had to our offensive line. I think we've had 11 different combinations of our offensive line.
We'll be going on number 12 this weekend.
I don't care how good your quarterback is. If you don't have a line to protect him, he's not going to be able to do Shermer.
Yeah.
And that's the reason that another of the 3 coaches fired in the last 2 days, was Butch Berry, who had no business ever replacing Mike Munchak.
No, we should have never got rid of him.
There are a laundry list of staff members that had no business getting their position. And Hackett is everybody's best friend. Hackett is the frat guy that has like 30 guys behind him. Like, everybody loves him. He's that personality that you want to hang out with, you want to be best friends with. So he brought his best friends. But that's not what's good for the team. That's what was good for Hackett at the time.
It was. Well, I mean, I'm sure he
Justin
thought
Houghton still has a job.
Yeah, well,
I
not for long.
I don't understand that.
How is that?
He's going to remain a figurehead to the end of the season and then clean out your office. But
embarrassing.
I mean, like right now, honestly, I can only freaking embarrassing.
It is.
I can honestly say that
Isn't it hilarious that the news came out today that Jerry Rosberg's first thing of accepting the job was that Dwayne Stukes was going to be gone?
Yeah.
That is hilarious. He had that much displeasurement for that guy. And rightfully so. Our special team sucks. And Dwayne Stukes spoke way too much for someone that was last in the league and
he was like Brandon McManus, but as a coach.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And goodbye, Brandon McManus. That's a whole different discussion, I feel like. But
yeah, we'll have to save that for another day. Table that one.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so right, I think
Andy
Justin out and hiding in the Dove Valley vending machine.
That is great. I can just see him as a troll in the cafeteria, just like, "Hi guys, guys getting out of a meeting?"
Wearing a wig. Like he's wearing a wig and a fake mustache and beard, and he's like scooping sloppy joes.
Even better, you walk by the vending machine and it's like a picture of a dude, and like the eyes don't move, but as you move, you think the eyes are moving, and he's just behind there looking out the eye holes.
Yeah.
At night, he opens the vending machine and comes out and showers and eats and goes back in. He's like the Chad Ochocinco of the Broncos, living in the stadium. You know that dude lived in the stadium for 2 years?
I know. He squatted he squatted, and the best part is nobody figured it out. For the longest time, nobody even knew it.
Nobody cared.
No, but I mean, they didn't care once they found out. But what I'm saying is, it took them
it's like the Baker Mayfield commercials.
Yes, I know. Which I sadly am going to miss
Jay,
those.
Too soon.
Yeah, that is too soon. I'm going to miss those commercials. Those were actually funny. I think my favorite one was Baker with the groceries, because that's totally me. I will die before I make more than one trip to the car for the groceries.
I
on the second floor of an apartment building.
Yeah.
His wife saying, "This isn't diet," or whatever she said, and he has to walk all the way back down to the concessions to get a different pot.
That was funny.
Or he's telling the kid the alarm code. It's 6.
Yeah, it's 6. So, all right. So, right now, we're finishing up our discussion on coaches that have been fired, or ones that are staying, rather. I would like to say that I think in my opinion, the only 3 coaches that I still like on this team right now that are safe: Ejiro Evero, Christian Parker.
Okay.
Yep, and Zach Azzani. Believe it or not.
Oh wow! You're missing one.
Who?
Clint. The heck's Clint done
to you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're right. Well, I mean, he's not his father. That's what he did to me. I would rather have Gary.
Hey,
come back, Gary.
Be careful what you wish for, because that's honestly what I see happening. That's a dark horse little, tinfoil hat I got going on.
All right, so let's talk. Yeah. Let's jump in. Let's see. Do we have any other comments right now that are worth reading? Nah, I don't think so. Let's talk Peyton real quick, because Andy does bring up George Peyton. Dave says Evero is gone. Maybe not. We'll see. Yeah, maybe.
Well, I think the reason why he turned the head coaching or the interim head coaching job down is because after a 51-14 loss, he needs to have a hell of a last 2 games to even still be considered for a head coach. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a great defensive coordinator, defensive coach. I don't think he's ready to be a head coach yet.
It would have been the first time somebody gave up over 50 points and got a promotion.
Yeah.
So,
It
but
would
I
be
mean,
like
here's the
it would be like doing your job completely wrong and going, oh, here's a promotion and a raise.
Yep.
What?
New VP right here.
yeah. I mean, all right. So I still like Evero, and I think there's a chance he finds a way to stick around, even with his connection to Hackett. I don't think it's a loyalty thing at this point. It's like, hey, dude, I've got a job to do, and so, and I honestly think that even if someone like my favorite head coaching candidate was to come here with his defensive mind, that
you already got a
that-
guy in mind? Have you already
dang.
zeroed in on
Okay.
like?
I've had
guy?
the same guy in my mind for over a year. In fact, I shouted to the heavens on Broncos Country tonight last December about wanting Russell Wilson and this particular coach in Denver together.
Dan Quinn.
You damn right.
Mr. Quinn, huh?
I screamed about it, and I am still on that bus. I'm still on that train, and you cannot get me off of it.
So I had read something that we couldn't afford him. That was
Nah.
at the time of that
We
happening.
got Walmart money. We can afford
but that
Yeah,
was
anything.
we can't
before.
afford anything
It was
now.
before. That was still trust at that time.
Wait,
But-
I have a serious question, and I really wish somebody would answer it for me. Has
Sure.
the price of concessions at the stadium gone down now that we have Walmart money?
No, they have not rolled back.
Damn it! I figure you start seeing great value stuff in there. Like they're opening cans of great value soda and pouring it in.
Everybody gets a smiley face sticker.
Button orange.
There you go. There you go. We should.
Oh yeah, no, I think we've all exhausted the Walmart jokes at this point. Like the elderly guy wanding you down, at the gate, wearing his greeter vest, and
That's what John Elway's going to
welcome
eventually
to
do.
Denver.
Welcome to Power Field. Have a good day.
Enjoy yourself. Hey, little guy, here's your smiley sticker, sir. The man with the team store bag. Can I check your receipt, please?
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, though. Dan Quinn may be the right answer, but is that splashy enough for the richest owners who are ready to make a statement?
Okay, here's the thing. That's two, by the way. I personally don't believe
I thought I was going to keep up with you.
there's no way you're keeping up with me, Rob. Nobody can keep up with me. Ask Jay. He's tailgated with me before.
This is true. And I was
So,
drinking NAs.
I
had a
drank at
clear
least.
mind
Let's
watching.
see. So did I. During that tailgate, Jay, how many beers would you say I probably drank? And that's not including shots.
I'd say a baker's dozen or so.
Yeah, at least. And I was still able to walk straight through the gate
Yeah.
on top of like 13 shots. And we were only tailgating for an hour. So
But not with that axe. Not with that
No,
axe.
not
you
with-
weren't.
not with my axe, because the guy at the gate is a D-bag. I'm sorry, that was not the right thing to say.
A
Anyway.
Donatel.
He's a Donatel bag.
That's great.
Anyway, all right. I that's right. I'm kicking back in my recliner because I'm just that awesome.
Oh wow.
So
All right.
so looking at it right
splashiness or
now.
Coaches.
No, you talking about Dan Quinn, that splashy thing. I wanted to finish that. No, you know what? I don't think they care about splashy. I think they care about winning. I really believe. I am buying in. You can say whatever you want about me. I'm a very trusting person, sometimes to a fault. But
Okay.
I am buying in to the initial press conference of the Walton Penner Group. Okay? And that
Chewing me,
was...
Smalls.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare use the Sandlot against me, Jay Weaver. Anyway, we spent our childhood fighting over who was going to get to pretend to be Benny in the backyard, okay? Anyway, but I actually have bought into what they said. And Greg Penner, when he took the podium for the first time, he said, this isn't about money. This isn't about building about being profitable. We want to win. And I believe him, especially with Stan Kroenke as your brother-in-law. He wants to win. I don't think he gives a damn what anybody thinks about any flashy crap. He just wants dubs in the column.
So
And if Dan Quinn is the guy, then that's how they get it.
Let me make a comparison to that. So the Cronkies themselves are not successful in the aspect of putting a winning team on because they have hired the right people. You have Tim Conley that built the Nuggets. The Nuggets would not be the Nuggets without Tim Conley. He was the architect. Joe Sakic, the architect of the Avs. He's the reason why they are the way they are. If they're taking that same playbook, then they've got to hire the mind to take the keys of this franchise.
Absolutely.
Penner's not a
That's
football
what
guy. He's a CEO.
No. True.
Like,
That's
he's
true.
a business guy.
But one thing I can say about good businessmen, Jay, and again, you're a businessman. I know you know this. You can read people very well. If you are successful at business, you are also an expert at reading people.
Which I wonder if he had to sit down with Hackett and his first impression is, wow, this guy's a clown. I can't.
Yeah, very possibly.
You're not the guy, because that would be completely opposite personalities. You have a salesperson and an accountant.
So I just kind of want to piggyback off of that. You know, I don't want to sit here and say that I think Dan Quinn would be the wrong person for the job. My question is Dan Quinn the right person for the job to fix Russell Wilson?
I think so. I always have. I thought that's why I wanted him in Denver with Russ last season.
Now, would Dan Quinn be the ultimate fix to Russell Wilson? Or is he going to have to pair himself with an excellent QB coach and offensive coordinator to fix Russell Wilson's?
So first, before I go to that,
my biggest. Go ahead, yeah.
Dave says he can hang with me. Challenge accepted, Dave. We're going to make this happen. So, you know, I was when I was in the Army, me and a bunch of my buddies, one of whom lives with me now, we're out at a bar, and a bunch of frat boys walked in and claimed they could outdrink soldiers. Yeah, that was a bad day for them.
Can we do it live on YouTube?
I'm down. Shot for shot, baby. Let's go.
That doesn't go against.
I don't know if I'm gonna keep up shot to shot, but I just want to be there to witness this because it's gonna be
the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know, in the bar in Nepal, just next. You know, like that. Let's do it.
I have a very fundamental question that has never been answered. And I had the exact same question the last coaching cycle here. What does Dan Quinn bring to the table from a skill set that we don't already have?
Good point. That's a great question. Experience, but two things. And this is what I said. This is what I said to Isaiah on the phone earlier this week. It's also what I said to my mother on the phone this afternoon. Okay. One, he brings experience. Okay. We have tried 3 in a row now. 3 in a freaking row. First time head coaches. Has that Shermer worked at all?
No.
Not even a little. We need a coach with experience.
Yep.
Two, he is okay. I've said it, right? Vic, all right, you get ready for this because I'm about to throw some world-class insight. Okay? Papa Vic was so stiff, his nickname should have been 2x4. And Nathaniel Hackett is so spineless, his nickname should be Limp Noodle Nate. All right. We had Papa Vic. He was an a-hole. Okay. And so they decided to go for somebody who was different than him. But the problem was they overcorrected and they went polar opposite of him.
Stop before I throw up.
Right? They went from jerk to way too nice. They went from I don't know. I'm trying to think of some jerk out there like they went from Archie
Morris.
They went from Archie Bunker to a Care Bear. Okay.
Zach Morris is trash.
What's that? They went from Archie Bunker to a Care Bear. Okay? What we need is a coach who is a healthy balance between the two. A guy who can be a player's coach. He can pal around with you. He can laugh, give you a slap on the back, a high five, cheer for you, even go out bowling with you as a team and have a good time, but also can put boots to asses when it matters.
Correct.
And that guy is Dan Quinn.
So, Johnny, I'm going to give you some stats that you may already know. So he was the head coach of Atlanta from 2015 to 2020, right?
Yep.
First season, 8-8. Okay, not bad.
Yep.
2016, 11-5.
Yep.
Lost to New England in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough.
Everybody remembers that one.
10-6. Lost to Philadelphia in the NFC divisional game.
Yep.
Okay. 2018, 7-9. 2019, 7-9. 2020, 0-5, and that's when he got fired.
Okay.
That's a little alarming to me that he only had 2 successful.
I have a question, Rob.
Yes, sir.
What is the reason for the pivot of success to failure for him?
That's a good question.
I know.
Jay.
I know. The departure of Kyle Shanahan.
Oh,
ding,
snap.
ding, 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 ding. He's a mediocre coach without Kyle Shanahan. He's already proved it. 7-9, 7-9.
Yeah, but he also now has the strength of another coach behind him that I'm pretty
He's not
sure
going to
would
do anything
follow
on
him.
offense.
Who? Brian Schottenheimer?
Okay. All right. Let's talk about Mr. Schottenheimer then. Okay.
I love the idea of Dan Quinn and Brian Schottenheimer into Denver. I love it. Okay, I get a Bradley Chubb at the idea of
Oh,
Brian.
don't bring up Bradley
Man,
Chubb.
That
Hey, I
is too
miss him
soon. That is.
I
too
don't
soon.
care. You know what? This whole season has been painful. Okay? Give me this. Don't you dare take this from me.
So that is why I'm poking holes in this Dan Quinn logic, and I just don't think
That's fine.
that there's more things adding up that I get the Russ angle.
Yes.
But I just don't know.
Okay.
I don't.
Now we can
know.
talk about Russ. We're 46 minutes in. We're finally going to talk about Russ.
Yeah, Russ
Okay.
is the crux of all of this. To
Yes.
fix or
Russ
to
is
not
garbage
fix.
right now.
Holy crap.
Oh, wow.
Isaiah is here. It's dark.
Breaking news.
I can't. We have our
On remote.
in the field correspondent Isaiah Henderson out in the field right now. Isaiah, what's going on there?
Hey guys, I'm reporting from the streets of Tennessee, and I've got to say that it's not looking very good. All right,
The word on the street.
Are pissed everywhere. They're upset. They don't know what's going on. They're trying to figure out what's next. And I just spoke to someone who said that he's had enough and he's selling his season tickets. So guys, we're gonna get an auction and we're gonna see what's going on with that. But Johnny, back to you.
Wait, how many?
Thank you, Isaiah.
How many tickets?
4.
4
Yes!
tickets. You heard it here first, folks. 4 tickets.
Uh-oh.
All right. Ty Wise in the house. I'm here. Finally here. We have a lot to talk about. What's going on? Ty, if you have to ask me, ask us what's going on right now in Broncos country, you need to get out more, brother.
Ty,
Anyway,
you came
no.
at the right time to start talking the nuts and bolts of
Yes.
our problems.
Listen,
Russell Wilson.
You guys get ready. I promised you that I was going to have an unpopular opinion from the two of you. Okay? You ready for this? Russ is not done.
I agree.
I still believe 100%. That's 2 of us. That's 2 of us. Here's the thing.
I
Man.
want to believe, but gosh dang it.
And totally redeem yourself.
Yeah, he needs redemption.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let me
All right.
ask, how is that going to happen? Paint the picture for me.
Well, first
Okay.
off, it starts with it's easy. It's easy. And I told me and Johnny talked about this heavily yesterday. It's hard for
Heavily.
me personally to get a true evaluation of Russell Wilson unless he gets a good O-line. He's sacked most in the NFL. It's very hard to, Russell Wilson is responsible. Yes, Russell Wilson is responsible. But also for the offense, to me, it's the offensive line. A big part of it is the offensive line and the play scheme. And Johnny and I talked about this. If you know, they called the plays differently for Rippon in Arizona than they did for Russell against the Rams. Now with Rippon, it was short, quick passes, bubble screens, get the ball out. For whatever reason with Russell Wilson, They wanted him to take 3 to 5 step dropbacks when you know your offensive line gives with the most sacks. They have no chemistry. There's a constant rotation of injured guys in and out. And then you still try and get these long passes so that by the time Russell Wilson gets the top of his drop back and the receivers get the top of their route, he's getting sacked. That's bad offensive line.
That's a big part of it.
psychology.
Second. Okay. Second of all, we've already alluded to this, right? The scheme of Nathaniel Hackett, very pocket passer. We saw Russ trying to take a lot of snaps from the pocket. He is an outside bootleg quarterback. He does not play Isaiah. That is so staticky. Holy crap.
I don't know what you want me to do about that.
Oh, I don't know either. I'm just letting you know. Anyway, he is not a pocket quarterback. The scheme did not fit for him. Okay? That's another big part of it. Third, you bring in a coach that I've already said. You got to bring in a coach who can be a player's coach, but also put boots to asses when it's important. You got to have, and here's the thing, Russ is elite talent, right? I mean, has been for so long. Okay, he knows he's elite. He knows that he's above. That in a lot of ways he's above a lot of others. Okay, you're gonna have to humble. You're gonna have to humble the crap out of him.
Somebody needs to check.
But in order to do that, it's got to be somebody he respects. You can't just bring in some random dude off the street who he doesn't know to be like, listen, Russ, because he's gonna be like, who the f are you, dude? Who are you talking to? Like I have this coworker, that's his favorite line. Who you think you're talking to? That's Russ right there. You bring in a random dude. Now listen, he has been coached by Dan Quinn. He loves Dan Quinn. He respects the charmer out of Dan Quinn. You bring Dan Quinn in, have Dan Quinn kick him in the butt and say, listen, buddy, you have destroyed your own legacy this last season. I can help you get it back, but you're going to have to do every damn thing that I say. I'm the coach. You're the player. You're going to listen. You're not going to get your own office anymore because you haven't earned it. You're going to lose those 6 parking spots for your personal staff because no more personal staff. You want to be a member of this team? Be a member of this team. Use our masseuse, our doctor, our chef. No more of that crap on company grounds. That's out.
Wait, time out. Our doctor? No, our doctor needs to go too. Our strength and conditioning.
That's what I told
needs to
Johnny.
go.
No.
Well,
The problem is not Lauren Landau. Not Lauren Landau.
I've heard some contrary things.
Yeah, I told Johnny, I was like, I understand why he wouldn't want to use his doctor. And one thing that Johnny and I also spoke about was he hired these people. So if you're going to want to keep these people, then if you don't want to, if we say don't bring them to the company, bring the company to them. Open these people up to your entire team, because from this point forward, instead of the team moving with Russell on an island, Russell needs to bring the team to an island so that way they can grow together as a team, no matter what, off season, during season. Because I mean, at some point in time, and Johnny told me this, he doesn't eat the cafeteria food. He has his own personal chef, and Johnny was like, well, his diet is so disciplined. That's what they're there for. These people are professionals. They can make food for your diet. You're not, it makes it seem like, outside looking in, you're like, oh, I guess we eat the peasant food and he eats at the feast table. It kind of puts a barrier between you and the team. And
puts a target on your back, too.
Dude, he showed up to day one in his own jersey.
Yeah, and another point I was going to make is that the reason why Broncos Country is so quick to ask for Rippon is because in reality, when you think about it, Nathaniel Hackett's system fits somebody like Rippon, somebody who's a pocket quarterback.
Which is why we saw his success in Arizona against Arizona.
And I asked Johnny this question: how many times did you see Russell Wilson under center against the Rams? We know and similar to Drew Lock, there's high success comes from under center with a successful run game, play action, bootleg, get him out of the pocket, get him away from the offensive line where, there's not heavy pressure. He can see the field completely, and he has a choice to use his arm or his legs. And that's why Cortland Sutton was so upset on that play where Russell Wilson could have ran it, because he was out of the pocket. The offensive line wasn't blocking his view, his sector of fire. He could see everything on the field, and he could use his legs to get the first down, or he could try and throw it deep to Greg Dulcich like he did. Now, I'm not saying you do that every play, but one thing that was brought up was, or one thing that I want to talk about is the offense with Russell Wilson just staying in the pocket all the time. The defense was able to predict it. They weren't on their toes. They weren't guessing. The defenses know if you bring an inside blitz, the offensive line is going to collapse. And I brought this up to Johnny. If you watch the Eagles versus Dallas Cowboys game, Dallas sent the house, and the Eagles offensive line held up beautifully. We don't have that. So why are you still putting him in the pocket when you know the offensive line gives up the most sacks in the NFL?
He needs a bootleg.
Yes, and either 1 week you're playing with all new receivers or all new offensive line, and maybe a couple times he played with all new receivers and all new offensive line, so nobody has chemistry, and he's getting sacked multiple times. There was no adjustments. There was no adjustments to play. Like he wasn't under center at all. So I mean, you got that, and I agree with Johnny. That other stuff. We gave that to you. We gave you the benefit of the doubt. We gave you rope, and you hung yourself. So now we're going to shorten the leash, and it's time to bring it back just like you're anybody else with everybody else, because that's how you played, like everybody else.
We're going to have to roll out here soon. So, Jay, Rob, kind of give me an argument as to why Russ is done. Like, why there's no faith that he can't get back to being Russ.
Go for it, Rob. Go.
I want to believe. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to see Russ be Russ again. When I heard we were getting Nathaniel Hackett, I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, Shermer, we're going to get Aaron Rodgers. Like, let's go. Then
and I guarantee you that was the plan that didn't work.
That was the plan. No one's going to admit that. That was the plan.
I disagree with all of you guys on that.
And went back to Green Bay, and I found out we got Russ. I was excited, but not as excited as I should have been. And now I understand why, is because the system didn't fit Russ. If we can bring in a coach that's going to have a system and an offensive coordinator and a quarterback's coach that is going to develop a system to play off of what his strengths are, which we've all already iterated, it's not staying in the pocket. It's getting outside the pocket. It's, bootleg. It's improvising. Then, then hopefully he could still be good again. But right now, with as abysmal as we've been playing, not only Russ, but our entire team, it's hard for me to believe that he's still good.
I 100% agree with you. I don't think Russell Wilson is going to be successful because of Russell Wilson. He has not shown me any instance where he is willing to change the way he wants to play. That was the whole point of him wanting out of Seattle, is because Pete Carroll just said no. I want you to play this way in this system, in my system, and that is what it is. You can't let Russ cook. That's why that entire thing blew up. That's why it went viral. But so, in order for Russ to be successful, Russ has to come to terms with what his strengths are. I believe he mentally is disconnected with what he truly is. He's not Drew Brees. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have the same skill set physically. He is a mobile quarterback. So guess what, Russell? You actually have to be in good condition coming into a season. You can't just stand in a pocket. You have to be mobile. You have to be athletic enough to outrun someone. He can't do that. He was not in shape enough to do that coming into this season. I'm willing to say he can next year, but he certainly didn't this year. Russ needs to get out of his own way.
I'm going to agree with Jay a little bit here. I think Russell can play in the pocket. I think you give him an offensive line. I don't think he should stay in the pocket, and you should keep him in the pocket. I think a few times we saw this year Russ try to finagle his way out the pocket. I think the offensive line was just that, and I'm putting an emphasis on the offensive line for a reason. I think the offensive line was just that bad. They regressed terribly. I mean, we were 15-16 last year. Now we're dead last. We give up the most sacks. I think the pocket just collapsed so fast, so often. But I agree with Jay a little bit. I think for whatever reason, when you look at the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL that's ever played, they all have one thing in common. They were pocket passers. And I think that Russell Wilson, for whatever reason, convinced himself that in order to be among these lists, I have to be a pocket. I have to incorporate this part of my game, which is not a problem. There's a difference.
That's how you can play into your 40s.
There's a difference between incorporating it and changing it. And I think
Agreed.
that Nathaniel Hackett kind of picked up on that and was like, okay, I see what you're saying, Russ. I'm going to go along with you. And I think they try to change him into a pocket quarterback instead of incorporating pocket passing into his repertoire.
That's a really good point, and it's something I really like. But guys, we are at an hour, and I actually have to go get my kids to bed before before my wife loses her
they're staying up till 8:30. They're staying up till 8:30.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Over my dead body.
You know better than that one. It's not over my dead body. It's over my wife's dead body.
Johnny, she already said they're staying until 8:30.
When did she say that?
When she called me like 25 minutes ago.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah, but you were on the podcast. I called you while you were on the podcast. And I forgot you guys were on the podcast.
Okay. Anyway, well, we're still not going to stay on too much longer.
No, which is fine. Last point on the Russell Wilson thing before we close out was that they tried to change it, and I think Russell Wilson kind of leaned into that. He was like, okay, but he says it all the time in his press conferences. I've had success in my season. He's Super Bowl champion, 9-time Pro Bowl. He's like, I have to play the way I know how I can play. And I think he leaned toward mental versus physical. And a lot of times in the NFL, it's mental over physical.
It's in his head, guys.
I think he was thinking to himself, whoa, I think I missed a turn.
That's what he thought?
I gotta get out of here. I think he was thinking to himself.
Hang on. Are you headed to my house right now?
Yeah.
Russ is missing a turn. Russ has definitely missed a turn. He's confused. He asked Jeeves and typed up and got some MapQuest. That's where he is.
But
oh my God.
I think Russell was thinking, if I just change the way I think and I just refocus, I can do that. Versus when he said, instead of saying, if I need to change the way I play.
It's why we had pivoting offensive schemes all year. You had one half of a game that was this way, another half that was this way, one game this way, another game this way. We were flip-flopping. And that kind of flip-flopping, that comes down to coaching, bud. That's coaching. Why would one individual coach choose to flip? If it's his belief and his scheme, he's not going to flip to an opposite. It's going to be an outside influence to make him do that.
And that's Johnny's point of a coach that comes in and can say, "Hey, this is what
you're
works."
right.
I think Nathaniel Hackett was okay. This was working, but Russell wants to go this
way. Noodle Nate, like I said, spineless. Hey guys, Noodle Nate.
I have to pull up my GPS because I'm.
That's
over
fine. We'll talk to you soon, brother. Thank you for jumping in and bringing in your 2 cents.
Goodbye, Mr. Gentleman.
So look, guys, I love this discussion. This is fun. Rob, I think I'm gonna hire you for Nothing Rhymes. Okay, cool.
Sign here.
No, for real, dude. I've been trying to recruit you to Nothing Rhymes for forever, if you recall. Anyway,
it's been a minute for sure.
It has been a minute. Anyway, look, I love this debate. It's fun. Last point I want to make about Russ. This is the last point I'm going to make about him. No one, and I mean no one, not Jay, my cousin Dreamweaver, Isaiah Henderson, my not blood brother, but might as well be, Rob Myrick, who's just a glorious human being.
That checks out.
Yeah, it does. Nobody can convince me that you can take a guy who has played 9 Pro Bowl seasons, and then the one that he didn't go to the Pro Bowl, he had a broken hand, and he still managed to put together a pretty impressive season with a broken hand, just plummets in one season. That doesn't happen. Not like that. I truly believe, like Isaiah said, it's mental. It's in his head. Look, if I can get over the crap I've gone through with my PTSD in the military, he can get over the damn yips.
Hey,
I believe it's mental.
I got one last thing on this Russ thing, and I don't remember where I heard it, so I can't give it proper credit. But you know, we had Peyton Manning, right? When I found out we were getting Peyton Manning, I had the same reaction. I was excited, but at the same time, I was like, this dude hasn't played in a year. He's had 4 neck surgeries. I don't know what's going to happen. And then, you know,
he's got a giant forehead.
Right. We saw him play. We saw him play, and he made me a believer. And now, you know, I mean, hell, my mother is the biggest Peyton Manning fan. I mean, you'll find she loves that dude. And
chicken parm tastes so good.
Well, I mean, hey, I make a pretty good chicken parm as well. I mean, it's a family recipe. Anyway, you know, the thing is Peyton Manning wasn't playing in his prime when he was with us. His prime was past. The difference is Peyton Manning had the noggin. He had the knowledge to recognize defenses. He had the confidence and the, can I say balls? He had the balls.
Yeah, you could say the balls.
He had the balls to check out of a play when he knew it wasn't going to work. Russell Wilson should be a back-to-back Super Bowl winner because he should have checked out of that stupid pass play and let
Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch run the damn ball in when he's that close to the freaking end zone.
I agree.
You know, again, Father Time catches up with all of us. Russell Wilson is not as fast and athletic as he
says the old man. Oh, just kidding.
Hey,
sorry.
I got it. I'm getting there, right? But
you're still sexy AF, brother.
Well, you know, I'm Italian. It comes with the territory. But my point is Russell Wilson has to understand that he can't rely on his athletic ability. He's got to be smarter than that. And if he knows that this system isn't gonna fit him, then he's got to check. He's got to step the freak up.
Fangio up, yeah.
Fangio up. Thank you.
I get you. 100% on that. I really, 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 really do. But I think he will. He is a competitor. Jay,
Fingers
disagree
crossed.
with me?
He is a competitor, but I feel like he's too selfish to change. He's not Peyton Manning. He's not 2015 Peyton Manning is what Peyton Manning is. He's saying, you know what? What's good for the team is good for me. And that's what he did. He went under center and completely changed his entire being. Russ won't do that. Russ ain't that. And that's too bad. I wish it were different.
I agree with you. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I still have faith. All we've done is talk about those things today. We will talk game on game day on Sunday.
Yep.
Guys, Rob, thank you for joining us tonight. Maybe now I can convince you to join Nothing Rhymes and be a Ty-Wise co-host because I'm looking for a Ty-Wise co-host. But the point is, this has been a blast. Thank you for joining us. We will talk the game on game day, guys, this Sunday. All right. Thank you. Please, if you like what you saw, if you like what you heard, like, subscribe, share, comment, hit that notification bell so you know whenever Nothing Rhymes goes live and you don't miss out on any of our awesome content. All right. Also, jump on over to w.gg. Get yourself some delicious flavors with lots of caffeine and no sugar, meaning no jitters or crash later. Dubby gonna give you that dub, y'all. W.gg. Thank you for joining us tonight on an awesome, albeit somewhat controversial and heated Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue. Guys, please do it with me. Rob, you've never done it with us before.
Oh, wow.
I've watched it enough.
I know, so here we go, guys. Get those arms out in a big high five.
Yep.
Woo!
There you go.
Thank you, Broncos Country. Thank you, NRW Crew. We love you. And you know what? I don't care if it's Russ. I don't care if it's cheesy. Let's ride!